And what's up, everybody? It's your boy Uchi, and I'm back once again. How y'all doing today? Alright guys, so today of course we are here to discuss the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super Manga, chapter 45. Now 45 is the continuation of 44 if you know how to count, and it is simply the fight with Moro and Vegeta on planet Namek. So it's crazy how we are literally almost kind of coming full circle in a way, and we are finding ourselves back on Namek somehow, even amongst and amidst the Dragon Ball Super storyline. Now, one thing that I do want to say is that I love and appreciate how heavy they are giving Vegeta the most character developed story. The fact that they're back on Namek after what he had done the last time he was on Namek goes to show how much of a character and how much depth he actually internally has. As far as this review goes, I just want to say that I highly recommend that you guys go ahead, download the Shonen Jump app. Make sure you're reading these chapters every month, because again, this is very easy to keep up with, being that it is only a monthly series. It's not a weekly like Black Clover, like My Hero Academia, and a bunch of other different shonen titles. This is literally a monthly and a monthly only. So if you're someone like me that falls off and has a hard time keeping up with things, Dragon Ball Super Manga is definitely for you. Especially now where Akira Toriyama has been implementing more advisory, overlooking type of involvement in his work, because you know Toyotaro is the one that is putting the pen to the paper, and I'm referring to the actual art itself. Akira Toriyama has been known to provide the story, the blueprint if you will, to both Toei and to Toyotaro for the anime and manga adaptations, and we get each version slightly a little bit different from each other, but still making something super entertaining and super enjoyable that it makes you want to look at both sides of the story. So with chapter 45 is pretty much just a continuation of the fight between Vegeta and Moro, and it's somewhat going in Moro's favor. Moro is showing off a lot more of his skills and a lot more of his abilities. He's not just a planet eater, and he doesn't just absorb life energy, but he can actually utilize the energy from the planet that he's on and use it to his advantage in offensive ways. So if you guys read the chapter, if you haven't, again, go ahead and read it, but if you guys did read it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's like manipulating energy somehow through the ground, and it looks like there was a shot where he was like using water as well, and it's really interesting and it's really cool to see him use these types of abilities. He's really proving to be probably one of the most busted characters that we've seen in Dragon Ball. He is very comparable to Galactus. Now, I must admit, I don't really know too much about Galactus and his backstory, but I do know that you can definitely go ahead and check out Oppai Senpai. He literally is doing a very descriptive breakdown of Moro and how dangerous he could potentially be and where his roots and what he's basically themed off after. So definitely check out my homie Oppai Senpai, because he's doing some high quality content. So the fight continues, and Vegeta is basically lying to Moro. He's trying to get information out of Moro, and he tries to sway him, or not really sway him, but he's trying to make him believe that Super Saiyan God, which is what he was fighting him with, is the limit to his power. Now, of course, we all know, and Goku noticed this as well, that Vegeta can obviously turn into Super Saiyan Blue. Now, after this, he manages to learn that Moro is actually going to try to use the Dragon Balls to attain his full power back. Because right now, as it is, he's only fighting Vegeta in his however state that he's in. He's been in this prison for however many years, and he obviously is not the same from what he once was. But that is the goal here, that is the whole intention, and that is exactly what he's trying to do in this new arc. So as soon as Vegeta learns this, that's when he decides to try and turn the tables on him and catch him by surprise and whip out Super Saiyan Blue and continue the fight, and to continue the aggressive manner that Vegeta is known to do. But unfortunately for Vegeta, he wasn't the only one that was trying to be sneaky and slimy schemy or, you know, conniving behind Moro's back. Moro was actually very well prepared, and he was hiding some abilities of his own that Vegeta and Goku did not realize. And this is the part where I'm going to be kind of adding a little bit of my own speculation and on a reminder as to something that I've been talking about for a very long time. For those that have been watching and following a lot of my older videos, I appreciate you. And if not, well, you're definitely going to learn and be in on a little something right now. So as soon as Vegeta thought he had Moro's number, Moro turned it around and said, "Yeet, that's the wrong number," and showed off that he can not only just absorb life energy, but he can absorb the energy and life force from all beings and animals and people that inhabit the planet itself that they're on. And that is probably one of the most busted things you could ever do. And why is this a problem, and why does this pertain to Vegeta and Goku? Right when Vegeta was about to really take things a little bit more seriously, he was about to turn into Super Saiyan Blue, he was trying to power up, and he realized that he couldn't transform into a Super Saiyan. So all of the Super Saiyan abilities are nullified, gone. He can't power up, he can't go Super Saiyan, he can't even access his God Ki. So what does this mean? This means that Moro is that dude, and Vegeta and Goku are in some shit. Aside from this now has me thinking, like, what the hell or how the hell are they gonna possibly stop this guy? And this is where the chapter ends, and chapter 45 is concluded with a little reminder that make sure to tune back in March 19th, mark it on your calendars, March 19th, March 20th, depending on your time zone, I guess, for chapter 46 of Dragon Ball Super manga. So as the chapter ends, we're hit with the question, what are they gonna do next? How are they gonna overcome this feat that Moro can literally absorb their life energy, their well-being, and prevent them from actually going all out and showing us their true potential? What the hell is it gonna take? I bring up an old speculation that I have actually been saying for quite some time now. I want to say around the time back last spring. There's gonna come a point where we're gonna have to go into the realm of GT. I've been calling it the Grand Tour phase, right? And I know a lot of people have been writing off GT as being non-canon, and I really don't like using the word canon due to in part by, you know, Geekdom's influence and talking to him all the time and whatnot. Saying things that are canon and non-canon are just like really out of the air now, especially with how Akira Toriyama loves to overwrite things, retcon things, and just change things altogether, where you have to ask, like, well, anything can be canon so long as they choose or see to it. As far as this is concerned, I bring up GT because there's going to be a point in the storyline that we know of Dragon Ball Super where they're going to have to close this 10-year gap, because remember, we are still in this 10-year gap. All this stuff, we got Determinate Power, we got Broly, even all the stuff before, Future Trunks, all this crap, the Universe 6 arc, and now Moro is all within this 10-year gap. So what do? When's the part where we get to the end of this 10-year gap? We go into this world tournament, Oob is introduced, and then we go from there. Eventually, this point is going to have to happen. And then the question begs, well, what do we do now? Is this going to be the part where they truly retcon GT, or they truly overwrite GT, or will they take the elements out of GT that were good, even if they were very minimal, and they do away with all of what made GT not as enjoyable or not as memorable or as liked as Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and now Dragon Ball Super? I think that all they need to do, especially when it comes to, oh, but why would they even need Super Saiyan 4 if they have Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue? Here's where you guys need to start thinking outside of the freaking box. All they need is a guy, a character, a villain, a foe, an ally, somebody, some entity to have some kind of ability to nullify their God Ki. And what's gonna happen next if they can't go Super Saiyan God, can't go Super Saiyan Blue? They're going to have to rely solely on their Saiyan heritage. They're gonna have to rely on their Saiyan abilities and prowess. And that means that they might have to one day finally make that thought and say, you know, what if we still had our tails? What if we still utilize this great ape form? And they look to Broly and they say he pretty much was tapping into his Ozaru state, his great ape state, while maintaining his human form. Now, isn't that what a Super Saiyan 4 is supposed to be? I'm thinking that looking at this chapter and realizing the potential and seeing what Moro could do, I'm not saying that Moro is going to be the guy that's going to take away their ability to just power up into Super Saiyan, but I'm saying that it is that simple, and all they have to do is write a character that can have something similar to Moro where they can just simply nullify their God Ki, and if all they can do is rely on going Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, well then if they're going to try and push further beyond, then they're going to have to pull that tail out, and we might end up seeing a renewed retcon Akira Toriyama Super Saiyan 4 eventually in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh my god.
So I know this might have seemed like a bit of a tangent away from the review itself, but I just wanted to share all this stuff with you guys so that way you guys can think about it and keep it in the front or back or somewhere in your head going forward with this manga, because this right now is a huge foreshadow in my opinion. The fact that Moro is so strong that he can literally not just absorb the planet's energy, but he can absorb your energy. Basically, if you have any kind of power-up, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God, whatever Super Saiyan D's nuts, you will not have that no more. He will just take it away and he'll use it against you, and this is just more gain for Moro. This is just more evidence as to how busted of a character he really is. But again, this was my review. I thought the chapter was really good from start to finish. I can really appreciate the improvements that Toyotaro has made within this manga, because fans in the previous arc, the Tournament of Power arc, and the arcs before it haven't been as accepting of Toyotaro's work. They felt like he was lazy, they felt like he wasn't really doing a great job, and now with the subtle inclusion of Toriyama's overseeing, or you know, he's overseeing him a little bit more, and he's even making correction, I feel like this is probably the best version of Toyotaro and the Dragon Ball Super manga that we've been seeing, especially since this is a fresh new arc and this is something that is brand new that we haven't seen before. So we're not referencing the anime, we're not referencing anything else, we're literally just focused solely on this and accepting it as brand new content. So who knows, we might know all of this as it is now, and they might change a few things in the anime once the anime comes around, but we have to wait until that takes place, of course. Let me know what you guys thought about this month's chapter of Dragon Ball Super. I hope this review was enticing enough, if you haven't read it, to go ahead and read it yourselves. And like I said, it was super good, and make sure you keep in mind all the things that I was saying, speculating, looking into the future of what could potentially become another character entity of Dragon Ball Super. So as always guys, you know the drill. Make sure you continue to support this channel by clicking the links in the description below. You know how to follow, hit that like button, subscribe, and share out the video, right? Take care of yourselves, have a good one, may the power protect y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.